Today we want to take a look at our conic sections who are not centered at the origin. So let's start off with our parabola. If you look at your parabola equation, it's now changed slightly. It has an h and a k in it, which is the location of the vertex. P is still the distance from the vertex to the focus. For question number 1, we want to graph y plus 1 quantity squared equals 16x minus 48. So notice that first, it's not in the correct form. So if I factor out the 16, I now get the correct form of y plus 1 quantity squared equals 16 times the quantity x minus 3. We want to identify the vertex first. Always start with the x-coordinate, then the y-coordinate. So my vertex is going to be at 3, negative 1. I can plot my vertex. To find my focus and my directrix, we always take the number out in front of the plane x or plane y and set it equal to 4p. So if we end up with a p of 4, then from my vertex, I'm going to go forward 4 units and backwards 4 units to get my directrix and my focus. I knew that I was going to move forward and backwards because my y was squared and my 16 was positive. Then to graph my parabola, I need to go ahead at my focus and identify my focal diameter, which is always equal to the number out in front of my x or my y. So if it's 16, I'm going to go up 8 and down 8. If I went forward 4 to my focus, it's now going to be at 7, negative 1. If I went backwards 4, I have the line x equals negative 1. If I want to write an equation for a parabola, I always make a little sketch. That way I know which direction it opens, and I can easily find the distance from the vertex to the focus. For question number 2 here, my vertex is at 1, 5. And my focus is at 1, 7, which means that I'm going to go up 2 to get to my focus. If I'm going up, then that means the x squared is going to come first, and I have the h and the k, which are my vertex. To find my p, if I'm traveling up 2 units, I can plug 2 in for my p, since my p is the distance from my vertex to my focus. For question number 3, very similar, except for this time, I have a vertex here at negative 2, 1, and I have a directrix of the line x equals 1. So if I go ahead and travel from my vertex to my directrix, I'm going to go 3 units, which means then I would travel 3 units into my parabola to get my focus. If I'm traveling 3 units, then my p is going to be a negative 3. It has to be negative since I'm traveling back to get to my focus.